I finally have my hands on Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus. Is this all hype? Let's find out. This is my review. Let's get it. I began to see a trend in transition devices this past few months. Thin devices. Yes, this is one of those very thin devices. What did they sacrifice to get this? What are some of the new features we're going to have in this? That is what we're about to find out. But before we do that, let's talk about what comes inside the box when you decide to purchase one of these. Inside the box, you find everything classic in here. From a screen protector, a case, a cable for charging, earphones, and your charger. You get it all inside the box. Transition, at this point, everybody appreciates it, so make sure you don't change this. It's very thin. It's just 5.95 millimeters, like compared to other devices, and it's very cool, especially if you hold it in the hand. But that begs the question, is this device durable? Would you want to see a bench test? Maybe if we get 10,000 likes on this video, so you can pause this video, go like it, and at 10,000 likes, we might do a bench test on this device. It's very lightweight, slides in the pocket with ease, and feels very nice in the hand with a curved size. You guys know I always appreciate when devices like this have curved size. It makes it very easy when you're holding it in the hand. You don't feel any kind of fatigue or pain when you decide to hold your device for a very long time. So I definitely love the curved sides. Being this thin, we have almost everything. I said almost because there are definitely some things that Infinix had to sacrifice to get this. One, we no more have the headphone jack at the bottom. There's no headphone jack on this device. Two, we no more have an SD card support. So depending on the variant that you go for, 128 or 256, that is what you're going to be stuck with. But I think most people will be okay with 256, but they still manage to do a little bit more with this device, which we're going to talk about, so stick around for that. It still has splash, water and dust resistance at IP65, so that's great. It also comes in a few fun colors. Which of these is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. With plastic wheels and plastic back and a glass front, this device so far when it comes to build and design, I think Infinix nailed it. It feels really good. It actually feels very durable and very lightweight for what it is. So for the design, I think I'm going to give Infinix an 8 or 7.5 out of 10. Now let's talk about the display. It's 6.7 inches. It's a 1.5K LTPS AMOLED panel with 144 Hz refresh rate, and has a peak brightness of 4500 nits. So no matter what you're doing outside, this screen is still going to be bright enough for most of your needs. Spec wise, the display is one of the best for the price point. About the 144 Hz though, I did turn on this feature in developer mode that allows you to see the current refresh rate on the display, and to be honest, the highest I've seen is just 120 Hz. I've never seen the screen at 144 Hz before. Even when I'm playing games, navigating through the interface, even in the settings, the maximum I've seen is 120 Hz. If someone knows how to achieve the 144 Hz or where I can actually feel the 144 Hz on the display, let me know. But apart from that, the display is still very smooth. It's actually very fluid. It's definitely more than a 90 Hz display. The stereo speaker on here is actually really good. This was tuned by JBL, so I guess for the size and for the physics of this device, it actually produces decent audio and you are going to enjoy it. So stereo speaker setup is definitely the way to go. It has an in-display fingerprint sensor that works really well too. It's fast, as you can see. You can easily get into your device with no hassle at all. It works 95% of the time for me. Now let's talk about the performance. This actually comes with the MediaTek Helio G200 chipset. It's a good chipset. It's a 6 nanometer chipset, so most of your needs this can actually run for you. It comes with Android 15 with XOS 15.1. You can get a 128GB variant or 256GB with 8GB of RAM as well. And it's 2025. It comes with almost all the AI features that you might need in your device, ranging from circle to set to help you easily locate any item in your image, AI erasers to take out anything in a picture that you don't want, AI extenders for extending your images if you captured an image and you want more, the sharpness feature that helps you get the best out of your photos, a dual system that I think a lot of people might find themselves using where you can have two separate users on just one device, and ultra link that allows you to communicate with other transition devices with no internet connection or no SIM cards. That's definitely cool too. I tried it and it really does work. Within about 50 meters or so, you can't really go far. Once you're within the range, you can actually make free calls on this device. For the gamers, I did play some Call of Duty at medium graphics and the gameplay was smooth. And for PUBG, I could play at HD graphics, that's high frame rate, and also the gameplay was smooth. But when you game on this for about 30 minutes, the device begins to get a little bit warm. Of course, it's very thin, so that actually makes sense. This is the Geekbench score. Let me know which device you want to see me compare it with, so maybe in the next video I'll do a comparison video for you. Now that brings me to the cameras, one of my personal favorite features of this device. It has a 50 megapixel Sony IMX sensor. These are some of the images and videos I was able to capture with this. Check it out.
Infinix is only attached because of the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Infinix and the Techno Spark 40.
You know your stuff.
That one
I
has the
cracked
wireless
mine.
charging, so it's got the edge.
Oh, this is the Infinix.
And that's a Techno.
Is this the Carbon? You
The
have the
second
Pro
one.
Plus.
Yeah, that's a Pro Plus.
The Infinix.
Yeah.
I thought it's. Oh, the
So
black.
that's the dark, yeah, the black.
Oh.
So this is selfie camera video test on both. Check out the place.
No, that looks good. The Techno one looks bright.
Yeah.
It's brighter.
Check the environment too. Pretty nice.
So the Infinix has a Sony sensor, right? On the rear camera.
For the battery, I don't know how Infinix was able to do this. This actually comes with a 5160 milliamp hour battery and supports 45 watts of fast charging. Good work, Infinix. Like all other brands should be doing this. And the 5000 milliamp hour battery could easily last you a whole day or even two, depending on your use case scenario. That is not going to be a problem. So all in all, what do I think about the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus? For just about 2,300 Ghana cedis, you get this amazing feeling device, this so thin device, something you would have thought a lot of research and design would have gone in for flagship device for just 2,300-ish. This device actually feels very good in the hand. It feels premium with a lot of AI features, curved displays, very huge battery, water and dust resistance, like almost everything you might find in flagship devices for just about 2,000 Ghana cedis. For just the price alone, I think this device is definitely worth it. Once Infinix works on OS supports and updates, this device is definitely going to be loved by a lot of people. But so far, so good. The Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus is definitely a recommended device for me. So if you're in the market of picking a device without paying so much, about 2,300-ish Ghana cedis, this is definitely worth it. If you have any questions though, leave it in the comment section and I'll answer you, and as usual, stay liquid, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.